Every day. We're going 10 minutes, 15 minutes, no longer than 15. That's for sure. Okay? Hold on. Hold on, you gotta get water percent on the set. Georgia has condition.
Was it 15 or 10?
Okay, so last year, at the end of the year, I said that, you know, if I told you about one thing that I've learned about lean, I'm always trying to get that epiphany. What is it? And it's to be on the shop floor. That if you spend time on the shop floor, and I'm so inspired, Sherry, by you, you know, here you are, the CEO and executive of a very big company, you're out there on the shop floor with your people. I think that is incredible. And you're going to have a much better go at this whole thing. So I said, do one thing, get on the shop floor and figure out the pain that you're putting your employees through. Because your employees are suffering because of what you're asking them to do. And the more you get on the shop floor and you feel the pain of what they're going through, the better your company's going to run. The better you're going to understand lean. So that's one. But this year, my new epiphany, I have two. And it's called Lean PD, and it means Lean Personal Development. You know, when I graduated from college, I observed, because I was very fortunate to have awesome mentors like Bob Taylor and so many other people in my life at an early age, and I noticed that all these people were incredibly well read. And I said, well, if I want to be successful like them, if I want to have the influence that these people have, I've got to be well read. Now, I'm dyslexic. I couldn't read very well. It was very difficult for me. I was a D&C student. I'm not an academician. But I said, it doesn't matter. I've got to read. So I began to set out the journey of one book a week for my entire life. So my entire life, I've read one book a week. I'm always reading a book. I just recently finished The Arsenal of Democracy, which is one of the most fantastic books you'll ever read about World War II and how Henry Ford built the B-24 bomber. I can't remember which one it was actually. I got the name mixed up, but 1 hour. If you read this book, it is staggering what these people did with such little technology. And so I've always read prolifically, and it allowed me to have a good perspective on history, culture, people, and everything else. And so I've been very deliberate, if you will, about my intellectual development. But I can't tell you that I've been very deliberate about every aspect of my life. And then I went to Japan, and I learned the Harada method. Now, the Harada method is basically a way to take a normal human being, and through the course of developing habits, you can achieve some outrageous goals. The problem was the Harada method was so complicated, my brain couldn't get around it, right? So I said, I got to find a way to take the Harada method because I believe in the concepts and make it simple. So I developed an app called Lean PD, and I realize now that after doing this, since I came back from Japan and seeing the transformation in my life, in every regard, both intellectually, spiritually, family life, business life, development of my leadership team here at FastCap, my physical well-being and everything, I go, oh my gosh, I've missed this. I wish I would have understood earlier how important it was to be deliberate about your personal development. If you want to be a dynamic lean leader, if you want to frickin' set the world on fire, forget about changing everyone else, start changing yourself in a deliberate way. That is the key. This is what I've discovered, and it is awesome what happens when you do this. So I did this app. I just released it with Apple. It's doing really, really well. I'm going to play a little bit of this video because I don't have a lot of time. I've used 3 minutes already. And I want you to kind of see how it works because this is one of the critical components that I think in order to be a highly effective and influential leader and to change your organization. So the first one is Lean Personal Development. Here we go.
Well, hello everyone, Paul Akers here and welcome to Lean PD. You can see the app down at the bottom that I'm going to demonstrate right now. It's the white box with the red check mark and it has the 60 right there, which means there are 60 habits that I need to check off. So what I want to do is just walk you through the app real quick, give you the big picture view, and then we'll drill down and we'll show you some of the details. So let's click on the app first. When you open it up, there are 4 different options across the bottom. The first one is habits, the next one is the graph, the next one is your goals, and the next one is the video feed. Those are the 4 different screens you can be in. 90% of the time you're going to be in the habit screen where there's a 60 there. Now, before I go any further, I just want to show you over on the graph screen real quick. There are 10 different categories that you can have habits in. Technology, food, leadership, spiritual, exercise, intellectual, lean, home, fun, and family. But of course, everything you can change. Everything is editable. There's no problem there. I just gave you a template to get an idea on possible categories and possible habits that might be helpful to you for your personal development. So it's pre-populated. Of course, delete everything and change everything as you see fit for your personal development yourself. Now, what Lean PD simply means is lean means efficient or effective, and then PD means personal development. This is an effective way to develop habits on a daily basis so you can personally develop as a human being, as a leader, and as an influencer in your community, your organizations, and everything you do in your daily life. So I've learned that personal development is largely based in the habits that you perform every day on a daily basis. And if you want to meet some big, hairy, audacious goal, like my goal over here, to change the world by teaching lean to a nation working directly with a head of state, I've got to do some pretty deliberate habits on a daily basis to get there. So let's walk through everything. So on the exercise category, I have a lot. So if you look over here at my short-term goal, it is to be in perfect physical health, weighing exactly what I weighed in high school, 185 pounds. So now let's look at the habits that I'm developing to make sure that happens. Number one is I lift weights for 20 minutes a day. I do 50 trunk twists, then 100 trunk twists. That's if I do 2 circuits. I do 70 push-ups, then I do 30 push-ups, then I do 5 pull-ups, then 10 pull-ups, and you see how that goes, and then 30 boxer curls. So this is a whole regiment that I go through on a daily basis to get me in good physical shape. So my minimum criteria, for instance, is 10,000 steps, but I like to hit at least 15,000 steps and have hit as high as 40,000 steps on a single day. These are the minimum requirements for me to be physically fit, and of course 20 flights of stairs. So I have a lot of different ones on here. Now I got very granular on the physical side or on the exercise side because there's a lot of pleasure actually in going through here and clicking things off. So the more things you have to click off, the more you're going to feel like you're accomplishing things. So I got a little granular on the exercise, where with some of the other ones you'll see I won't be quite as granular. So let's take a look at those. Fun. I want to play guitar every day, I want to laugh out loud, and I want to high five someone. So I did those 2 today. I didn't high five someone, so I won't check those off. The cool thing about this is if you don't check them off, you don't have to do anything. It automatically registers it as something you didn't do. You only have to click on the ones you do, and then at midnight it resets itself to a blank screen, and then you start over and it registers your success on each one of these, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So let's go family, ride to work with LeeAnne, talk to Andrea, but I didn't talk to Colby today. Food, focus on fruits and vegetables, primary fish and chicken, no sugar, no artificial sweetener, no white flour. So I did all those. I did that one, but I didn't do a couple of these other ones. So I just keep on going, and real quickly at the end of the day or during the day, I check things off as I feel like I achieve the goal. Intellectual, read 10 minutes or listen to 10 minutes in an audiobook. Leadership, work directly with one of my leaders one-on-one, tell someone they did a great job. You can see the habits that I'm developing here. Make one small improvement under lean, make one before and after video. So these are the habits that I think are important for my personal development. Of course, I have many more habits than you're looking at right now because this is just a test screen to walk you through it. I've fully developed it, as many as 100 habits that I'm performing on a daily basis. So there you go. I've got every category, some of them checked off, some of them not. Now let's look at the graph and look what that looks like populated. Look how cool that is. So you can clearly see they're done in the order of success, percentage-wise. So exercise I did the best at, and you can see that's the yellow wheel. And the one that I did maybe the least in was the green. Let's go down and look at the green. That was family, but it's still not bad. The reason we did it in a wheel shape is because that represents a balanced life. If you've got one area per se that is not very balanced, let's take a look at this. I'll show you. We'll go back to like family real quick here. We'll go down here. We'll click off that, just like that. So now let's go back to the graph, and you can see the family one's lacking right there with the green wheel. So the key is to have balance in your life. You ideally want all these circles completely filled. It gives you at a glance the categories that you're doing good in and the categories that maybe you need some work on. And of course you can go up here and you can look at monthly, yearly, you can look at everything. It's very cool. Now it's a very simple app. It's not intended to give you badges and compete with other people. It's for your own personal development. We wanted to keep it simple, lean, and effective so anybody could use it throughout the day and throughout the course of their life for that matter. So now let's go over to the goal tab, and if you want to add a goal, you simply hit there, plus, and you can add another goal. To learn how to effectively use Lean PD over the course of the next 6 months. Okay, go, done. So return, and that is all done. So I'm going to go back to there. So now I've got my second goal in there. Now, if we go back over to the habits page right here, and I want to reorder or reprioritize something, I simply hit the edit button, and then I can take this and put it there, or I can put it there. If I want to delete it, I obviously just delete it, and it's gone, just like that. So if I want to add one, I just go down there, 60 boxer curls. There you go. And I've added one in just like that. Now I want to reprioritize that and take that up to here. I can go just like that. Very simple. Right there, and put it in there. That's the cool thing about Lean PD. It's so simple and easy to use. You can be very effective in logging and tracking the habits that you want to perform on a daily basis. And lastly, we have the video tab over here. Now these are all the videos that I'm going to be producing. The first one is why I produced the app and what motivated me to do it. The second one is how to use the app. The next one is what is Lean and speeches that I've given on Lean and examples of Lean in organizations at my company FastCap. And then as you send me videos of your success with Lean PD, we'll post them here and we'll collaborate together and share with the rest of the world as we go down the journey of personal development. Because at the end of the day, if you really want to improve your organization, you must first improve yourself. And that is the essence of why Lean PD is so important. Thanks a lot. I really think you're going to enjoy this app.
If I was to do everything over again, boy, I sure should have been working on myself in a holistic way much sooner than I figured out 4 or 5 months ago when I went to Japan. This is one of those profound epiphanies that I've had over the course of my Lean journey over the last 15 years. It is all about developing yourself if you want to really change things. The second thing that happened was building my leadership team. So this last year, we changed the direction of the company a little bit. And I started spending one time a week with our leadership team. We developed about 8 or 9 or 7 or 8 people that we meet with once a week for 15 minutes to a half hour, and we go over issues. And we ask them, what are the issues you're having? And then everyone works as a team to help each other solve those issues. But the interesting thing about this meeting that's so important about the leadership is we go over these issues over and over and over again. We don't go over them one time. We repeat. What did we go over the first week? We talked about variation. What does variation mean? We drill it into their head to make sure that when we tell them something, when we're teaching them something, that they absolutely have command of the issue. And that is the issue, is you cannot just teach someone something and expect them to remember it. We go over it and over it again. So the 80-20 rule we've gone over. This is one of my favorite ones right here. I learned this from Greg Glebe right here. Shitstorm, okay? Let me explain to you what that means. And my people know this. Greg and I were talking a while back, and Greg said, you know, have you ever noticed that there seems to be always like 1 or 2 people in your company that create this shitstorm? There's always some controversy around them. And I'm going, you know, it's right. You're right. It really is true. And I said, it's over. Those people are not going to work for me anymore. Okay? So I taught this principle to my leadership team. And you know what? My leadership team says, guess what? We're not going to have those people working for us anymore. Now, instead of just me demanding this level of excellence, I've got 8 people demanding it. What is your company going to look like when you have that? Incredible. So the leadership team is beginning to understand what are the issues within our company that we need to deal with. We need to get rid of variation. It is killing our company. We need to obey the 80-20 rule. We need to do those few things that produce 80% of the result. We need to get rid of the people that are always creating the shitstorm. Got it? We need to have zero struggle. If there is a struggle in anything we're doing, all 8 of us attack that and solve that problem. Urgency. We notice some people don't have urgency. We create urgency in all of our people. We go over this thing. We go, you must have urgency. They must have a goal. We talked about this with George. George said, you got to challenge people. Our people are now challenging them based on the concept of urgency. We are going to over-communicate on everything. We are going to be teachers. We're teaching people how to teach. These are the things, and we're going to work as a team. Now, we could take those and we could go on to another 10 issues. We don't need to. We need to focus on these and nail these in every category. the result has been dramatic in the way this company runs. It is the best it's ever run, significantly more than any other time in the history of the company. I have way less burden on me because I have people repeatedly stepping up to the plate in every arena. And it is the most refreshing thing I've ever experienced as a leader. So it's very simple. I'm out of time. It is 15 minutes and 21 seconds. Develop yourself and develop your leadership team. Thank you very much for coming. So what we're doing is, you guys can go back to the hotel. The plan